So let's talk about an event that recently came to an end, a Marvel event. And that event in question is Absolute Carnage by Donny Cates and artwork by Ryan Stegman. Now, this event was actually something I was really looking forward to. If you guys don't know already, I frickin' love the Venom run. I love Donny Cates' Venom run. It is probably by far the best take we've had on Eddie Brock Venom. I know, you're probably thinking, well, what about Flash Thompson? Yeah, Rick Remender's Flash Thompson and Cullen Bunn's subsequent Venom run? Yeah, no one can top that. I'm talking about Eddie Brock Venom. This Venom run has been just completely baller. This has just been the best thing I have seen and read in a long time. It is a great form of heart and horror and just dark artwork. It is just perfection, in my opinion. I think it is just Donny Cates is the new golden boy for Marvel Comics. Having said all that, though, I do have some thoughts about this event. Now, don't get me wrong, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I think the problem is that I think mine, as well as everyone else's, expectations were a little high for this event, when really, this shouldn't even have been called an event. This didn't feel like an event. This felt more like a story arc that could have easily been done in Venom, because this feels like a prologue to the real event. So for those who are unaware of what this storyline is, the story is that Null, the god of the symbiotes, has chosen Carnage as his avatar to gather all these symbiote codexes inside of every superhero that's been possessed by a symbiote, and essentially get them all together to allow Null to escape into out of his dimension and into ours. And that's cool. That's really cool. And yeah, Eddie is still dealing with the fact that Dylan is his son, even though he hasn't told Dylan at this point that he's really his father, not his older half-brother. But this comic really does balance a lot. And what I've liked about Cates' take on Brock is that, yeah, he's, him and the symbiote are kind of dealing with a lot. It's a very, it's a pretty venomous relationship. Okay, that was bad, I'll show myself out. But yeah, that's the thing, is that this, he's been really showing that both Eddie and the symbiote have got a shit ton of things to work out. It is really not an easy relationship to be in. This really does shine here in this story, where they're trying to figure out what to do with Carnage, and the best possible chance they have is working with Spider-Man. And I really do like the back and forth with Spider-Man in here, with Eddie and Venom, is that, yeah, Venom is kind of trying his best not to be like, kill the spider, but at the same time he's like, yeah, there's still some bad blood, and even Spidey's like, and even Peter's like, oh, why my life? What is my life? Why me? What? Every time, Brock, you show up and it's symbiotes. It is symbiotes out the ass. Why? Now, what I did like about, that's what I like about this comic, is that it really does show that Eddie has changed over the, since the Donny Cates run. He has really gone, while he is still very much like, protect the innocent at any cost, and yeah, but he's still like, Brock is kind of showing that he is still trying to pull himself together and be a better person for not just himself, but his son and the symbiote. Speaking of Dylan, we get to learn more that he is a living codex for the symbiotes, and that's really cool. He's like the Jesus of symbiotes, and it really does go back to when he was first introduced, and we find all about that. Is that, yeah, he was immaculately conceived from Anne, who was Eddie's girlfriend who killed herself after becoming She-Venom. That's the whole fucking thing, I know. But yeah, he's basically the Jesus of symbiotes, and I'm calling it now is that what's probably going to happen is that Eddie is going to die, and Dylan will take on the Venom symbiote and be like a younger Venom. That's probably what's going to happen. I can probably see where that's going to go, is that Eddie is going to die fighting Null, and Dylan will take over. Again, that's just me calling. That's just how I'm seeing it. But again, Donny Cates has a tendency to throw a curveball every now and again, and that's what I really like about him. Is that when you think you get it figured out, nope, that's not what happens at all. That is nothing like you were thinking, and that's what I like about his writing. So yeah, but the thing is that you never. This is where now let's get into the critiques of what I have with this book. This whole event really, like I said earlier, should have stayed in just the main Venom storyline. Aside from the tie-ins, this didn't feel like an event at all. This felt more, like I said, a storyline that is for Venom, and then would kick off the main Null storyline. Because, really, the stakes don't feel pretty high. The stakes never feel like they go super high. I mean, yeah, they gotta catch Carnage, and, you know, Norman Osborn, after the Dan Slott run, thought he was Cletus Cassidy, and there's some cool stuff Cates does with him, but really, it doesn't feel like, you know, it's kind of like the problem I'm having with the CW Christ, Son, Infinite Earths, where we're just now starting to feel like it's, you know, the stakes are high after 2 episodes. Here, you never really got that till the last 2 issues, because the first 3 were just like, oh, okay, symbiotes everywhere. If you want to check that out, go check out the tie-ins. Yeah, and some of the tie-ins are really cool, especially like the separation anxiety one with all the other symbiotes like Riot and all of them. That's a really good, like almost Lovecraftian horror story. Some of the tie-ins are pretty fun, like focusing on Miles and Matt Gargan. You've got other people, because yeah, that's the thing, is that there's also a really kick-ass Immortal Hulk tie-in by Al Ewing, and I thought that was really fun. That's probably my favorite, and not just because I'm a major Hulk fan, but because, yeah, Immortal Hulk has just been nothing short of the best Marvel book right now. You can quote me on that. Immortal Hulk is the best Marvel comic right now. But yeah, that's neither here nor there, but it's just a really, just insane and awesome, storyline in there. But the main story just felt like it was limping along, and you can make that argument for a lot of events these days, where a lot of the main event book doesn't really have a lot of meat to it. It's just helping the story along, and the tie-ins are what's really, you know, driving the story. And yeah, that's been a case for a lot of Marvel events. DC is really, like, again, DC has its fails too in terms of events where it really feels like the tie-ins are really moving the story along, and the event is just going along as it is, and you don't really feel the stakes. But yeah, DC usually, when they do an event, it really feels like the event is just like there's epic to it. Like whereas a lot of recent Marvel events, like War of the Realms and now Absolute Carnage, this feels more like, all right, you're talking about all these major things going on, but I don't see them. Oh, I gotta read like 10 other books? Well, fuck. Yeah, that's the problem. And Marvel is really, like, more guilty of this than DC. DC has its, like I said, has its fair share of where, do you want to know what happens there? Go check out this book. But Marvel, especially like I said, Marvel these days has been more guilty of this than any other thing. So hopefully the next storyline involved, when we actually get to Null, you'll actually feel like the stakes are high and whatever. Because yeah, Eddie just takes out a sword, the Necro Sword, and a version of the Necro Sword, I should say, kills Cletus, and that's the end of the book. Null gets released, and yeah. But I do like how, Cletus is portrayed in here, where he's kind of accepting of, oh, I'm the avatar of Null, but I'm still me, and and I'm really having a lot of fucking fun here. And I love his little catch-22 of, oh, Dylan dies, Null comes out. I died, Null comes out. So, it's win-win for me. And Eddie makes the wrong choice no matter what, and he has to, deal with that. And I really do dig that. All in all, Absolute Carnage is okay. I think the problem is that I was a little too overhyped for this, and I should know better with most Marvel events. Like I said, Donny Cates has just been nothing short of epic with Eddie Brock and his run on Venom. But But I will say that, you know, it does fall short with a lot of other recent Marvel events, so yeah. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've read Absolute Carnage, what did you guys think of it? Did you guys like it? Hate it? Are you guys excited to see Noel and Eddie fight for one more time? Or are you looking at something else? Or are you just kind of done with it? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.